You are not stacking hard enough. Heck, I'm not stacking hard enough. None of us are stacking hard enough. But I'm still bullish, though. I'm still bullish. And that, my friends, is what I want to talk to you about today. What's up, guys? It is Sunday, April 13th, 2025. We're at the Bitcoin block height of 892,288. That's for you, Jor. TikTok, next block. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your weekend is going great. Decided to do a Sunday walk today and kind of pick up where I left off yesterday in my Satoshi Saturday, because it was pretty windy. And I think it was a good video, a lot of good information. If you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. Before you watch this video, just pause this one. Don't turn it off. Go to that one and check it out. A lot of good information. And when I was editing it yesterday, I was like, wow, man, I'm not stacking hard enough, you know. And I want to make sure that my viewers and the people that watch my videos understand my sense of urgency here. And I don't think I've been doing a good job of that, right? I've been kind of like nonchalant, because I guess I don't want to like show my craziness to people about how I am with Satoshis. Because again, you know, we talk about Bitcoin, and I know, you know, it is Bitcoin, but at the end of the day, from my standpoint, Bitcoin is like the marketing name, and the Satoshis are the real deal. The person that we named the little small units after, Satoshi Nakamoto, those little small fragments. Again, according to bitcoinsperperson.com, they say if we distribute it evenly, everybody would get about 244,000, which is not hard to get. And it's all about those little units of money, real money, digital money. And I'm just fascinated with them. That's why I made a whole series about Satoshi Saturday, right? It's just, it's crazy, because most people are just not going to get a Bitcoin. They're just not. You know, I remember British Hodl, when he first came out, I think last year or 2023, he'd always tell everybody get to one Bitcoin. And rightfully so. That's a good message. But he always, you know, he also said he's talking to rich people. You know, I don't think I'm talking to a lot of rich people. I'm far from it. But my message is to get to 1 million Satoshis. I think that's one of my messages. One of my main messages is, again, don't worry about the Bitcoin. Do something tangible, something you can do today, and get to one Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying everybody has $84, $85 or $840, or $850 laying around, but work your way to it, you know, as quickly as you can. And we have to deal, as Bitcoiners, we have to deal with the volatility that goes up and down with it. Because again, we were in the 70s last week, and I'm so glad I took my my monthly buy, because I take a chunk of whatever I get paid and I put it into my Strike account, and then I divvy it up by the day and by the hour, and that's what I spend. So let's say it's $100 a month or something. I'll divide that by 24. I'll divide that by 30 days, and then divide it by 24 times, you know, once every hour, and then I buy accordingly. But when the price dipped in the low to mid 70s, I made a bet, and I said, you know what? I'm going to spend this money anyways, or this currency, anyways. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump it in for the month and just shoot my load right now at the mid 70s. And so far, so good. It's worked out for me. We're back to the mid 80s now. And if I didn't do that, and if I didn't have my conviction and didn't understand the Bitcoin volatility, meaning doing the study and understand it's measured by a fake currency and a fake system and a broken system, you know, I could have got shooken out and maybe even sold. Of course, I wouldn't, or neither would you, but maybe got a little bit worried. But because of the, at this point, thousands of hours I've been into this now, I not only dumped it in, but I was happy to dump it in. And, you know, a lot of things in life, you know, decisions, choices, that's what it all is, basically just based on that. A lot of people base those things on, unfortunately, emotions, right? And I'm not trying to make this video political, but we are in a political, very divided country at the moment right now, in particular the United States of America, with Donald J. Trump being our president, our current president. And ever since he came into office, or come into politics in the summer of 2015, everything changed, right? It's no longer Republican versus Democrat. It's just one ideal versus the other. And I do my best I can to not think with my emotions, right? And being on the planet here for as many years as I have, I've learned that. I've learned to do better, because I used to be an emotional thinker or emotional decision maker. And I'm getting better with that. But Bitcoin has really helped me with that. But in particular, since I'm into politics and I'm on the MAGA side, and since I'm into this form of money with Bitcoin, with the volatility and stuff like that, I have to deal, unfortunately, with the people that I love and care about when it comes to waking them up from the mainstream media, telling them about Bitcoin or Satoshis or whatever. Most of those people, unfortunately, don't listen to me because they don't think logically. They think with their emotions. And yesterday I had a very interesting conversation with two friends of mine. They have a podcast. And I used to live in Virginia for 10 years, and they were real good friends of mine. They still are, but we got into a big argument yesterday because they asked me to come on their show, on their podcast. And their podcast is about nothing that I want to talk about. They talk about sports. They talk about entertainment. They're kind of like, how can I say this without trying to disparage them? They're just into things that I'm just not into. They're like really into the celebrity thing. And, again, man, what you eat don't make me poop, right? I don't really care what a celebrity does. Honestly, to me, they're just entertainers. And I just want them to entertain me. I don't care about meeting them and stuff like that. But they're all into that. The gossip, the sports athletes, the entertainers or whatever. They have them on the show. But we have different ideals, me and these two gentlemen. They're both about my same age. One's older, one's a couple years younger. But they're both hardcore Democrats, and they both hate Trump. And in the black wing of the Democrat Party, and I'm making a point here, I'm not making it political, so stay with me here. I'm going to bring it back. In the black bourgeoisie or victimhood wing of the party, their job is to make sure that black people know that Donald Trump is racist, America is racist, you're a victim and you're oppressed. And I'm not for any of that stuff. So they asked me to come on to their show to be a guest, and they can argue with me about politics. And I'm like, they wanted me to fly to Virginia. I'm like, well, first of all, I love Virginia. I just went to Virginia for my cousin's funeral and stuff. And I said, no, I can't do that, man. And said, well, why not? I thought we were best friends and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And then I didn't know that the one dude that was calling me had the other guy on the phone, because we had gotten into an argument a couple of months ago. And I basically said, I don't want to go because he's a you-know-what, because he did act like that, a witch that starts with a B. And because he's very emotional, and I said, man, but he was on the phone and he heard it. So he just went off, calling me he said, I'm a white boy, and these white people don't care about you, and you think you're white, you think Donald Trump cares about your black, you know what, and blah, 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 blah. Coming from a pro-black Democrat plantation situation where if you're not Democrat, you're not black. If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you're not black. If you vote for Trump, you're Uncle Tom. That type of wing, that type of thinking. And I'm telling you guys, he completely lost his mind. But he was emotional, right? The whole time he was talking, I was just laughing. I was like, man, wow, dude, you're just tripping. This is right before I did my Satoshi Saturday. And, I just hung up on him, whatever. Didn't think twice about it. But I thought about it this morning, and I'm just like, man, if only people would stop thinking this way, man. If they would stop being so emotional and be logical and have a strong mind, right? There's no way I can be a victim or feel like I'm oppressed or I can't do something. Number one is because I'm me. And number two, my mind is just too strong, man. My mind is just so strong. And being in Bitcoin has really, really helped me. But I've always been the type of person that if you can believe it, you can do it. I've been from the Napoleon Hill school of learning. My favorite book is Think and Grow Rich. And there's nothing you can tell me if I put my mind to something that I can't do it. I don't care what anybody says. And I feel like every morning when I wake up now, I just know that I'm right about what I'm doing. I knew I was right about MAGA and Trump. I knew I was right about talking to Bitcoiners about Trump and MAGA when everybody told me I was stupid. I knew I was right when Bitcoin went down to 15,800 or whatever it went down to in 2020 during the crash to buy more. I knew I was going to get to 100. Bitcoin was going to get to 100,000. I knew that, because I did the studying, I did the work, and most importantly, when the ups and downs were coming, when Trump was going through all his ups and downs with court and almost getting shot and getting sued and getting talked about in the mainstream media and the lies and the FUD about Bitcoin and all these things, I knew that I didn't believe any of that stuff, and I went down to the base layer of my studying. I put on my Iron Man suit every single morning, and I was bulletproof during the day. And that's what I want you guys to do. Put your Iron Man suit on. And don't worry about the FUD. Don't worry about the ups and downs of the price volatility. Look at how many Satoshis you can get an hour. Do me a favor, guys, in the comment section, answer me this. Have you guys gotten to 1 million Satoshis? Tell me if you have in the comment section, please. And if you have, what's your next goal? Now, you don't have to tell me how much you have. You never tell anybody how much Bitcoin you have. I'm not saying that. Just be vague about it and let me know if you got to your 1 million Satoshis. If you have, congratulations. Now, I know a lot of you are way past that, but if you're new and if you haven't gotten to it, make sure you put in the comment section, no, I haven't, and tell us how you're going to do it. I really appreciate that. But when you look at the news cycle and everything going on and how people are emotional, I just look at these people and I'm just like, and these are people that I love very much. This is why politics are so important to me, because I knew that Bitcoin down the line, and this is what I told everybody, that it was going to be affected by whether or not Trump was in office or not. Let's play a game here. Let's play a alternate universe game, right? All this bullish stuff that's going on, that's why we're bullish. All these things we're bullish on. What are these things? Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, that's the main thing. Then passing the Bitcoin Act, right? Again, when Donald Trump signed that executive order for the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, that was big. Now we got United States of America, individual states passing bills to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. MicroStrategy buying as much as they are. The ETF news in 2024, when the gold rush started, now they have 1.1 million Satoshis in 16 months or whatever it's been. And they're not going to slow down. And all these nation states and all this news that's coming out. Can you imagine if Kamala Harris would have won the election? We wouldn't have a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We definitely wouldn't have a Bitcoin Act. There will be a lot of things going on. I believe there will be laws coming out to stop not only mining in United States of America, mining Bitcoin, but I believe eventually they went down the road to, it's illegal to have self-custody. They would have, CoinKite and other Bitcoin-only companies would have moved out of the United States, like the Phoenix wallet did and the Satoshi wallet of Satoshi did. And I believe we'd have been headed down the road of the thing that I'm scared of the most, and that's the central bank digital currency. I think we'd have been on that road to that what world order that they wanted for that year in between 2029 and 2031, that agenda. And you know what I'm talking about with that. And this is why I said that Trump, to me personally, no one man can stop or start Bitcoin or, affect it. But if there is one man that can change the adoption of Bitcoin and not get people in trouble and pass laws that not only not hurt Bitcoin, but to help it in its adoption and put us on a Bitcoin standard for our nation, it's going to be Donald Trump. He was the only man that can do it in 2024. Because we know if the other way happened, it wouldn't have happened. And thank God it did. Thank God it did. But now that it's here and we know it, right? Who cares about the price? I'm loving it. I was talking to Joe today. Joe, I Summon Satoshi. Thank you so much, Joe, for helping me with my channel. He's behind the scenes running this channel, trying to get me more views, and he's been teaching me about Bitcoin. I'm be forever grateful to him and his wife for doing what they're doing. Thank you so much. I was talking to him today, and he said exactly what I thought. He said Bitcoin should be 200 something thousand a coin, and it should be. It absolutely should be. Why isn't it? Could be some whale games, could be some paper Bitcoin, could be some different kind of manipulations. I don't know. But I don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I don't look at the price per se when I measure Bitcoin. I look at the fundamentals. And what are the fundamentals? Look at the hash rate, guys. We just broke a record. I don't know what the numbers are. I think it's 1,000 exahash or something. I don't know what you call it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section what it is. We broke that record. We have more A6 computers plugged in now than we've ever had. We have the strongest computer system in the world, more powerful than all the computer systems combined. Computation power, mining Bitcoin. I just told you when I started this video what block we're at. So the blocks are coming in. Now the transactions in the block have been lower, which is good because then now you can move your Bitcoin on the base layer, layer 1, for cheap. But the fundamentals are looking good. They're looking real good. And to get over 1,100 or whatever it is right now, Satoshis, these finite units of this incredible money for $1, people are going to be looking back and they're not going to believe you. This is why I always, in my Satoshi Saturday videos and these videos, I tell you, what the Bitcoin block height is, because again, I think one day we will be measuring time in that, in the Bitcoin blocks. We're at 800 and something thousand since January 3rd, 2009. But I always tell you in Satoshi Saturday in particular, how many Satoshis you can get for $1. And I remember, again, when the price crashed to 15,000 something, man, I was getting a lot of Satoshis. I remember specifically buying, because I was at that time in 2022 when I still had gold and silver. I was about a year and a half into Bitcoin, year and a little bit, 7 months, 8 months, whatever it was, into Bitcoin, but I wasn't fully there yet. And I didn't dump everything I had into it at the time. But I remember I was on a mission to get 100,000 Satoshis every day. And I was delivering pizzas on the other side of town. And I would make, just part-time, just to buy, at the time, to buy silver and platinum. But I would just add Bitcoin to it, just as, I just have this little digital currency. Looking back at that, now that's funny. And I would dedicate a portion, I don't know what percentage I did. It was small compared to what I was making. I was making pretty good money at that pizza place. I was dedicating between 20 something bucks a day to 30 bucks a day or whatever at that time, because Bitcoin's price was in the 20s, 30s, sometimes 40 something bucks for 100,000 Satoshis every day. That's what I wanted to get, just 100,000 every day. And I was doing that. When it crashed down, I remember saying, wow, I'm getting these 100,000 for cheap. And I remember buying $15 or something cent worth for the day. And I did smash by a couple times because it went down. It went to 16,000, 17, and I did buy a little bit more. But do you think if that happened today, if Bitcoin crashed to 15,800 or 900 or 700, whatever it was, that I wouldn't sell everything in my house or everything not nailed down to get as many Satoshis as I possibly could? Of course. I still had the majority of my silver at the time, and I had a lot of my net worth in that. And if I could go back, let's just say I would have sold off in one day for that 15,000 something. So I say that to say this, because you look back and say, wow, those were the good old days. It's all about your perspective and all about where you're looking from, right? I'm 6'2". I'm a tall guy. When I go places, I'm usually the tallest guy there, and people are like, wow, you're tall, man, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking down at them, I'm like, wow, you're kind of short. Well, they'll say I'm tall or whatever. But if I go to a high school basketball game or NBA game or a college game, and I'm around a bunch of those basketball players, again, I'm not going to feel like tiny because I am 6'2", so I'm about the size of about the average size point guard in the NBA. But when I'm around those shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers, I'm a little guy, right? So it's all about your perspective of where you're looking at things from. And right now, if you're measuring our price at 85,000 today compared to 17,000, or when we're floating in the 50s and the 40s and all that stuff, I mean, this seems like a high price. But if you look at it from our all-time high on my birthday, January 19, 2025, at 109,000 and some change, looks like it's dipping. But again, 2025 is the bull run. This is the bull run year. This is that big year it's supposed to have the bull run, plus with all the stuff I just said about all the adoption and stuff. Add that all in, it's about a quarter of the price it should be, or 1/3 of the price it should be. So if you look at it from a 250,000 per coin price, you'll say, wow, I would buy more. So my question to you is, what perspective are you looking at this price at? If you are looking at it like it's too high, you need to do some more studying. If you don't have your million Satoshis, get them. Get your 1,000 hours in. You have to get your 100 hours in first. And you can do that, by the way, by watching my old videos. Hitting the like button in this video, please, if you like it. Only if you like it. Sharing the videos with some people that you like. Going to watch my old videos, but also you can come to my lives Monday through Friday. You can not only learn about Bitcoin and what's going on in the news and Satoshis, but you can also earn Satoshis by when I spin the wheel of Satoshi, you can get 100 Satoshis per spin. And also I do trivia questions where you can get 25 to 100 Satoshis. And on Friday, I do a fat zap and I double it. But you need to look at the perspective you're looking at it from. I'm going to tell you right now, for somebody that's been in for 4 years, over 4 years, 4 years and 2 months. So what is that? 50 months and over 200-something thousand blocks, they're giving this shit away right now. And I'm telling you that. Now, again, don't trust me, verify. But if you trust me, or if you, not trust me, I just said don't trust me. If you believe in what I'm saying, and again, not financial advice, I would ask you to take a hard look at that chart. Look at the fundamentals underneath that chart. Go to those Bitcoin websites I have in my description box and on my lives that I teach you about, and look at the fundamentals, and you tell me if this thing is on a discount or if the price is too high. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, not financial advice, but I'm going to say this like I said in the beginning of the video. You're not stacking hard enough. You're not. I believe in balance in the world. I have an 80-20 rule where if I make, let's say I make $1,000 a month and my bills are $900, my discretionary income of $100, I'll put $80 into Bitcoin and I'll do 20% fun, because you know you're not gonna, you never know what happens. You could be hit by a bus or whatever. Sometimes I don't go by that. I do more. And you got to have a balance in life. But if you're watching more TV and more nonsense and bullshit than you are studying, I suggest you take, and I do the same thing with my studying. I do at least 80% of my free time in studying. I suggest you take a little bit more time studying this thing, learning how it works, and doing what you got to do for your family. And one thing you need to do when you're studying Bitcoin, you need to study the broken system we're in now, because it is broken, unfortunately. But this is the cards that we're dealt. Because of this broken system, we're at a $36.7 trillion deficit. Inflation has gone down. The rate of inflation has gone down. It's not inflation going down. The rate of theft, that's what it is. That's what inflation is, a tax and a theft, a hidden tax and a hidden theft, has gone down, slowed down the rate of it, but it's still theft. And it's still fake dollars in a fake system. You owe $107,000 because of this national debt. You didn't do anything to deserve it. And as the years go on, this stuff will get passed down to your family. And what is it that you're going to pass down to your family? You're going to pass down this national debt and their individual debt and this inflation and this broken system to your family? Which is insane. Or are you going to pass down the only thing that can stop this nonsense, pay off the debt, pay off your individual debt, and stop the inflation? Are you going to pass this down? This one thing. And if you've been paying attention to my videos, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what that thing is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.